So I've been having a rough week. Have severe radiation poisoning, um, and it's getting down to where there's just a little bit left in my skin. This was more extensive the other day, and it's clearing up. It's associated with that scar tissue underneath of the skin, and there's larger things under the skin there. Um, so I read today that Dr. Richard Feynman actually died of what was diagnosed as stomach cancer. I've been suffering from severe abdominal cramps for 10 years. I mean, severe. And if anybody's ever passed a kidney stone, you'll know what I'm talking about because I've been peeing out radioactive kidney stones for 10 years. And for most of that time, it was undiagnosed. And this is kind of a self-diagnosis because medical doctors, most of them anyway, don't have much physics. They get a couple of years in pre-med education and like Harvard and Johns Hopkins, my brother's alma mater, um, say that you can substitute a year of high school AP physics for the requirements to get in, and then in the first semester or so of medical school, they get a couple of rounds of physics and some chemistry, and they're also working 20 hours a day at the hospital. And so when you go in and you show them something it's this persistent sore on your body, what they say is blah, 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 because they don't know. They don't know what it is, and they don't know how to check. And that's been an issue with me, and I won't harp on that. Blessings on them. They work hard and they mean well. And I'm, capable of taking care of myself. That's what this horse represents. It's rising under your own efforts. And this is from Tibet, ancient Tibet. And they love their horses. They think the horse represents the human spirit. And they put up little flags for like New Year's and holy days and stuff that have horses on them called wind horses. So this is a Tibetan wind horse. And my own education started with physics when I was a little boy, 3, I think. I asked my dad what the beautiful chart on his desk was all about. I had my sister teach me how to read, and what I got was the Black Stallion and the Island Stallion. I think she was in 2nd grade. And so she was reading the horse books, and she was kind of a horse nut. and we'd go down to the stables at on army bases where we lived. And so I'm kind of a horse nut, still a horse nut. My sister died when she was 17 of kidney disease. My mom died of cancer. And this cancer is what it's often called. It's also been called other things, psoriasis. I'm going to show you my belly here real quick. See those white dots there? These things? Those showed up after I had like third-degree burns up and down my stomach all the way up to my chest, all the way over here. Last year, checked into a hospital, and the stuff just literally fell off. I'd been putting hemp seed oil with poppy seeds on it. They thought I might be strung out on morphine and thought I was crazy because I told them it was radiation poisoning and that these had been bothering me for most of my life. When I first met my wife, almost 40 years ago, 39 years ago this year, used to have her rub my stomach in the evenings after I ate, particularly right here, where that one is, and there's one over here, and that's still where it hurts. And so it's been hurting me for more than 40 years. This is not something new. I started feeling this digestion issue during my first marriage in the 1970s, late 70s. Today was probably one of the worst days I've had in 10 years. It doesn't get better. It's like getting worse, man. But I also use this hemp seed oil all the time on my skin, right? I'm not eating it. I just put it right straight on my skin. And I grind a couple of teaspoons full of ground up poppy seeds, blue poppy seeds, into the oil, into like a quart of oil, right? So it's about what you'd put on a batch of poppy seed rolls, but it lasts me a month or so, right? And I literally bathe in it. And it provides the neurotransmitters that our bodies use to bridge the gap between nerve cells so that the body and brain can communicate. Because our body doesn't just do chemical factory things automatically. There's a communication between the body and brain and back again that runs our body. It's a feedback system. And the immune system is part of that. And the immune response is generally to send white blood cells to areas where there's trauma. And I get some, like a cut or something, and you do too, right? And there's scar tissue that builds up. That's what this stuff is. um, underneath of it. And in my case, radiation from probably my dad's hands. My dad was a nuclear physicist when I was a little boy. And I'm a geologist, and the stuff I work with is radioactive. So it's kind of an occupational hazard too, but I didn't know. If I'd known, I would have done something about protecting myself a little more. But I live in the desert in Arizona, and I wear short sleeve shirts and t-shirts and shorts all the time, and have had past tense big sores on my legs right where I put my stupid hands on both sides. And they're now cleared up. I got those cleared up. This is cleared up instead of third-degree burns. These little things have been there for years and years and years. But the third-degree burns that I had last year, no scars, no scar tissue, none. I had surgery on my arm, plate and screws inside the humerus right up near the shoulder, and like a 6-inch long incision. You can't find the scar anymore. There's no scar tissue. And that's because our brain creates endogenous stem cells. Everybody's does, not just mine, yours, the kids, the babies, old people. And what's happening is there's when we hurt ourselves, there are parasites that latch into those things in our fingertips, little hard things under, that grow alongside your fingernail, little like stringy things. I've got them real bad because I put my hands in the dirt. I'm a gardener, I'm a mechanic, and I work with my hands. Every time you bung up your finger or something, they latch in there. And they go into our joints. And so you get this swelling in your joints as you get a little older. And mine are actually going away now. It takes a while, and that's why I'm yelling ow, ow, ow all day long, because this stuff comes out, but it comes out in my body. And it's coming out through my kidneys. And out through my bladder, and down me, there's like tubes run down from your liver here, kidneys and liver area here, all the way down to your bladder, and then out, and it goes down through this tube. It hurts like sin, man. I mean, it hurts like Billy-O. And it boils, literally boils the stuff in my gut. And so it hurts every which way but loose. It feels like somebody's running a Roto-Rooter through my stomach, like I ate ground glass, like somebody's got tasers, cattle prods, electrical zappers. 2 of them, one on this side and one on this side, because there's another tube that runs down this side. And so it's more or less just about the exact opposite of fun. And they don't know what it is because, well, when I went to the doctor and said I might have some sort of parasitic um, infection, they told me I was crazy and that we don't have parasites in America. Uh, there was a fence being built just south of my house, 100 kilometers or so, 18 feet tall, and apparently the parasites don't actually know that. And of course, we do have parasites in the United States, and I buy this, over the counter, and this actually works. This is what's getting rid of the stuff. Just a few dollars worth of lice spray all over in my hair, in my beard. I shaved my beard off, shaved my hair off, and I'm gonna get rid of them because they're everywhere. And it's not because I don't bathe. It's not because I'm dirty. It's not because of any of that, man. I've had them literally all my life, and they're not little either. They're one of the things that it says on some of them is lice and the super lice, and they're actually like a hive critter, like bees. And so there's multiple bodies that are joined together into one organism, one critter. And they're under our skins. And I'm not crazy. You'll see, the same things on your skin. And those little skin tags that people get as they get older. The little lumps on people's faces. And that's what it is. And they're eating. See, our fingers and our toes, our head, are where we grow. And that's where we make stem cells. Right in our fingertips and stuff. But also any place where we get hurt, and especially in our joints, because they're coming out of our bones, the marrow in our bones. And so joints are the primary target. And that's why people get lumpy joints, like arthritis, as they get older. And we call them all kinds of different names. But it has to do with this. And they bind radiation, man. I don't know why. I don't know everything, right? But they have little beaks that stick down into our joints and latch onto the synovial tissue in our joints, and it's every time I pull them out, they glow in the dark, man, bright red, beta radiation. There's two basic kinds of cancer. In all of the different areas. One is called benign cancer. These are like benign cancers on my hand. They're not metastasizing. They're not spreading. And there's the kind that spreads, right? And it just grows and grows and grows and grows and doesn't stop. There's two basic kinds of radiation. Alpha and beta. Alpha is, I think, it's helium nuclei being ejected from like uranium or one of the byproducts of uranium. And there's beta radiation, which is just electrons from neutrons giving off an electron becoming a proton. Okay, so they don't zap all the way through your skin. As soon as the electron hits something, it transfers its energy, its heat into that thing, like in our body. And that's what you see here. That's what benign cancers are. And the alpha zaps through us. It's like a bullet at the speed of light. Very, very, very small bullet. And it'll pass right through you just like X-rays do. And that's what creates the metastasizing cancers. That's why Richard Feynman, Nobel laureate in physics in 1965, died of it. That's why my mother died of it. That's why a lot of farmers die of it, and the farmers' wives get breast cancer. And our doctors don't have that branch of education in their education. 2 years of physics is not enough. I've had 66 years of physics at this point in time, and I just figured it out. Peace, y'all.